Hello, in this video, we will begin to introduce loops in chapter 5. Suppose you need to display a string, welcome to C++ 100 times. You can write this statement 100 times. You have to count 100 times. What happens if you have to display it 1 million times? It becomes very tedious. It's almost impossible. It's not practical. So we will use a better way to tell the compute to execute this statement 1 million times. So we're going to put it in a control structure called a loop. There are 3 kinds of loops you can use. We will introduce, the first is the while loop, and later we'll introduce the do while loop and the for loop. So use the while loop, you can write this, and you can count it how many times. So count is initially 0. We're going to execute this 100 times. Every time you execute the statement 1 time, you're going to increase the count by 1. After this is executed 100 times, count will become 100. By then, count is going to be equal to 100. So this condition will be false. The loop works this way. Why the condition? So this is loop control condition. This condition is true, we're going to execute the body. This is called the body of the loop. One-time execution of the body is called 1 iteration. So the total number of iteration is 100 in this case. Count begins with 0. So this is true, execute it. And now execute this line and the next line and go back to count again. And the count is now 1. 1 is still less than 0. So this continues until count becomes 100. At that time, count less than 100 is false. The loop is finished. So look at this program now. This is 100 times. Now let's look at the detail of the while loop. This is the syntax. While is the keyword. And loop continuation condition is a Boolean expression. Evaluates to true or false. This is Boolean expression is put inside the parentheses. Here's the body of the loop. The body is executed once the condition is true. It will repeatedly if the condition is still true. So this keeps going. Let's look at this animation in the flowchart. Here's the flowchart for this while loop. While loop continuation condition is true, execute the body. Else, we go back here. And so continue. And if this is false, and we're going to force is to exit the loop. Let's use this.
A while loop flowchart animation. The count time is 3 in the flowchart. You may set it to any other value.
I'm going to set this count to 1. Go over this animation.
The statement initializes count to 0. Count is now 0. 0 is less than 1, is true in this case. The loop body will be executed.
Now we're going to go back to the body now. And after this, we're going back to the check this condition.
The loop body is executed. Count is increment by 1. Count is now 1. 1 is less than 1, is false in this case. The loop is finished.
The loop is finished. Exit.
The next statement after the loop will be executed.
So this highlight, this is the loop continuation condition is enclosed inside the parenthesis. This is the body. Now this body has 2 statements. So you must put inside the parenthesis here a block. If there's only 1 statement, this block can be omitted. Now please note that when you write the program like this, you go back to see this code right here. If you forget this increment count by 1, so this loop will execute forever. This is called an infinite loop. So if you have infinite loop, let's run this program, and you're getting this infinite loop, and you just have to close it to terminate it. Now look at this. This is count starts with 0. If you have count is less than or equal to 100, so what happens? And this loop is executed 100 one time, because you start with 0. After this is done 1 time, and you increase the count. So this, when this count is 100, it's still true, execute it. And then once the count becomes 101, and this will be false. So just be careful to make sure the count is set up correctly and with this loop continuation condition. Now let's write a program. It's a subtraction quiz. Here, we're gonna repeat the subtraction quiz. Repeat it until the user enters a correct answer. So I'm going to copy and paste the code, and let's do this now. I'm gonna go to copy and paste into my Visual Studio and run this program. So let's run this program, get a sense how this works now first. So this is, when you run this program, the program prompts you with this question: what is 8 minus 4? And these 2 numbers are randomly generated. And the first number is always greater than or equal to the second number. So when you generate these 2 numbers, if they're not in the correct order, you need to swap it. So let's enter 5 is incorrect. Now ask you to try again. Again, it's incorrect, incorrect, incorrect. All right, until you enter a correct answer. That's all, you got it. So we're gonna write this program now. Write this program. So this is to generate 2 random numbers. We're gonna set a seed for the random number generator using time 0. So because you use time function, you have to now include C time in the header. So this is the 2 numbers now generated. These are the single digit number. So now test if number 1 is less than number 2. So we're gonna swap the 2 numbers. Now we're gonna ask the user the question: what is this number 1 minus number 2? Enter the answer, and we're gonna check if the answer is correct. So number 1 minus number 2 equal to answer. If that's correct, so now, if it's not correct, we're going to prompt the user for another answer. If it's correct, so we're going to finish it. So this is here, number 1 minus number 2. If it's not equal to the answer, so we'll say wrong answer. And what is this? Ask this question, try again. Once number 1 minus number 2 is equal to the answer, so then we will exit the while loop and display you got it. So this is the program, and this is the introduction for the while loop. And let's look at more examples in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.